So let's start our discussion on the research methodology and particularly about the which test or technique we will apply in given circumstances. A quick recap of what we have discussed in research so far. We started with variable and I requested you to please think a variable just like a human being. Just like we human beings do our variables, they just mimic us. So very first thing, we human beings have a name. So variable also have a name. Then we have relation with the other human beings. We live in a family. So variables also are related to other variable. That's called hypothesis. And all the variables together, this is called as a model. Just like we have a family, they have a model. We have certain norms of do, don't do, etc. Societal norms. Variables have a theory. Theory will tell what how variable will do, which will be dv, which will be idv, etc. Then another thing we discussed was measurement. Measurement means one is the reality and one is when you ask the reality, when you measure the reality. So that's measurement is nominal, ordinal, interval, and the ratio. So basically, to be on the very safer side, reflective construct is interval, open-ended question is ratio, and other than these two, everything else fall back into the nominal or ordinal. So whether it's a MCQ, multiple choice question, ranking question, formative construct, ask the formative construct, or any other sort of questions, they are all always nominal or ordinal. So this is one of the most essential part in research, particularly statistics, metric or non-metric. The other thing comes that statistics doesn't think like English. In English, we simply say there is a singular, there is a plural. So two constitutes a plural. But in research, bivariate is not simply writing the two variable. There must be some connector, a relation, impact, effect, difference, compare, leads to, influence. These words connect the two variable. So these words has to be there. So we don't actually, most of the students, they start with the questionnaire. They measure the question and then they say, okay, now tell what can I do with my data. This concept is called data mining. When you don't have an object, you have the data, but you don't know what I will do with the data and you just play with the data. That's data mining. But in research, we always start with the objective. So technically, having discussed about the variable, about the hypothesis, about the model, gaps in the models, etc., the next thing will come, what you intend to do. What is your objective? Now, again, if you look for objectives can be only two. You may write 20 objective, but the classification is only two. Either it's a univariate or bivariate or multivariate. It means either you will measure a variable. For example, we will check your satisfaction level about our MBA program. This is a univariate. And the problem with the univariate is we cannot generalize it. If you are very happy, that doesn't mean students of Kurukshetra University, student of IIM Rohtak are also very happy. We can't generalize it. So univariate are used only for the policy making. In case you are not satisfied with any particular dimension, we will try to see what happens, what went wrong, and we will take a corrective action. So univariate objective are always for the policy formulation, not generalization. Bivariate and multivariate to check whether the gender and results marks are related. Now, if the says no, it's not related, that's a good news. It means there is no gender discrimination. It's not like the boys get more marks or girls get more marks, nothing like that. That thing we can generalize. So bivariate and multivariate. So writing the objective is very, very important. So in the objective, there are the variables written with the intention, what you want to do with the variable. Simply want the two variable there where we use the principle of split, or you are looking for the relationship, etc., where the bivariate multivariate table will come. Now its entire game is on three things. Number one, in the objective, find out the what is your variables, how many variables are there, and the objective is univariate, bivariate, or multivariate. Second thing, how you measured every single variable. Was it metric or non-metric? Every single variable. And third thing is, which one is a dependent, which one is independent. Now here comes interesting thing. if you have two variable and both are metric, but you have no idea about dependent, independent, we call this as correlation. If you have two, correlation and regression, what's the difference? In the correlation, there is no dependent, independent variable, simply two variables, both are metric. Likewise, if you have two variables, both are non-metric, and you don't know dependent, independent, then we can apply cross tabulation and the chi-square test. That's okay if you have the dependent, independent, even then also we will apply the cross tab. But cross tab is basically meant for, it's called the relationship, association between the two variables, test of association. So there is no dependent, independent. Then when you have the idea of, yes, there is a one dependent, one is independent. For example, my financial incentives depends on my hard work invested. So it means it's not the reverse way. It's not like if I'm getting more salary, then I will work more. But if I'm working more, maybe I'm getting more salary. So in that case, when we have the idea of dependent, independent, and both are metric, then it's called simple regression. Otherwise, it will be depending on the hypothesis testing, etc. So this we have discussed in the last lecture. And then from the root of bivariate, we move to the multivariate. I have already discussed in the previous lecture. That lecture is recorded, available with you. Today, we will just talk about the various case situations. In which circumstances we will work on which particular test and technique, how to decide for that. And remember, there are not numerous, there are only 3 decision rules are there. So what are the 3 decision rule? Number 1, from the objective, you have to look for how many variables are there. So on the lighter side, I always say, I hope you have seen the movie Sholay. I think that's a cult movie, and I assume that most of you, but the younger generation, I'm not sure, but almost all the people have seen. And there is a very famous character, Gabbar Singh, in that. So I always on the lighter side say Gabbar Singh was the first data scientist in India who introduced data analysis in India, and he was very fond of numbers. If you have looked for some of the dialogues of Gabbar Singh, he was always quantifying the data. Have you noticed that thing? Right from the dialogue of कितने आदमी थे, होली कब है, सरकार कितना इनाम रखे है हमारे सिर पे, और ये रामगढ़ वाले अपनी लड़कियों को क्या खिलाते हैं. मतलब he was a very data specific person, always. Number 1, very curious guy, always asking question. Number 2, look for the range, right from the legal aspect to the nutrition aspect. He's a very curious person. So first one dialogue of Gabbar, kitne aadmi the, actually becomes our first one. How many variables are there? That's a very important thing in statistics. How many variables are there? But in statistics, simply 2 or 3 variable will not make it a bivariate. That we know. There must be, in the objective, there must be a connector word. We have discussed the connector word. We have made an inventory of the words that these words should be there. Now let me give you an idea and you tell me how to go. We will go ahead. So it is to study the effect of motivation of salesperson, leadership, and advertisement on sales. Okay, so I have an objective. We will start the reverse way. We will first have the objective, and now we'll go over dissection. First, check it out. How many variables are there? To study the effect of motivation of salesperson. So we will use that Google approach. Remove all sort of the English words like prepositions, the, I, and the. Then prepositions, to, of, and conjunctions, on. Remove these. To study, that's a verb. Doesn't matter whether you study or analyze, you evaluate or you do something else, doesn't matter. Statistics says, tell me how many variables are there. Okay, what we'll do, we'll study the effect. Yeah, we have a line here, we have a word here, effect. Effect means minimum it has to be bivariate, but we will check. Motivation of the salesperson, it's a variable. So variable number 1. Leadership, it's a variable because team leader, that can be a different. Advertisement is certainly a variable, and sales is certainly a variable. So here seems to be the 4 variables. And now we are saying to study the effect of. Now that one question comes here, and this is very important question, important point. I want you to listen this very carefully. Let me write side by side here one more so that we can see the difference between the two. To study the effect of gender and background on marks. The two variables almost, if you look for, that's there is a 3 variable 4 variable, but both are similar in approach. Here also we have a variable gender, boy girl, we have a background urban rural, and we have the marks, actual marks. Okay, so here we have the 3 variable, here we have the 4 variable. Now there is a rule. The rule is how you measure them. So gender is a non-metric, background is a non-metric, and this is a metric. In the second case, if you look for this motivation, I will measure it on the Likert scale. Certainly I will decide, the researcher will decide. So motivation, let's consider it, say, because we will take the Likert scale, and whenever I say Likert scale, always remember it's only the reflective construct which is called as the Likert scale, not the formative. Leadership is again on the Likert, so that is metric. Advertisement is the actual one, so that is metric, that is the ratio. And sales is the metric, and that is the ratio, actual sales. So this is also the ratio, and here also this is the metric, that is the ratio. When we apply the principle of split, there is one important point you should look for very, very carefully. Here, even if we have written to study the effect of gender and background, I can apply the principle of split, and I can part it into part A and part B to study the effect of gender on marks, to study the effect of background on marks. We can do that. Why? Because there is no reason that the gender and background will be connected. Please try to understand this word. There is no reason. It's not like all the girls live in city and boys live in village, or vice versa. There is no such thing. They are naturally not connected. So if you want to make it, if you write like this, to study the effect of gender and background on marks, this will be considered as 2 bivariate. If you want to make it multivariate, I told you a word, to study the combined word you have to write. To study the combined effect of gender and this. Now it means we are specifically looking for boys from the rural, boys from the urban, girls from the rural, girls from the urban. You have to write the word combined. While working on the all metric, there is a compulsion. Even if you don't write the word combined, you cannot segregate motivation on marks, leadership of marks. You cannot. It has to be compulsory. You have to take all. Please try to understand this point. If your independent variables are non-metric, you have to write the word combined, else they will be considered as separate. Using principle of split, they will be 2 bivariate. To study the effect of gender on marks, part B, to study the effect of background on marks. If you want to make it a multivariate, you have to write the word combined to study the combined effect of gender and this. On the other hand, when I write to study the effect of motivation, leadership, advertisement on marks, and since all of them are metric, there will be a tendency of relation. Just check it out. Whether the motivation of the salesperson and advertisement, what is your point of view? Will they be related or not? Think of yourself. If your sales team is very motivated, then advertisement, will there be relation or not? Sales motivation and the leadership, will there be relation or not? If there is a leadership, leader, the job of the leader is to motivate, whether there will be relationship. Leader, if a visionary leader is there, might go for the advertisement. Problem comes, one word will come which will become the subsequently the villain of this entire statistics. Its name is multicollinearity. So here comes an additional concept. Even when you are at the stage of writing the objective, if you suspect your independent variables can be correlated, then there is a compulsion. It has to be by default. This effect is combined effect. Even if you don't write the word combined, you cannot segregate, because the moment you segregate to study effect of motivation on sales, leadership on sales, you will never see the effect of multicollinearity. So what is multicollinearity? Multicollinearity is the R between IDVs. R between IDVs. And remember R, where R makes sense? R is, just see the table once again. R is not available when the any of your dependent independent is more non-metric or both are non-metric. R is there only when both are or all are metric. Only then R comes. Hence, this is the scenario. Now, a question that might be bubbling in your mind, that what about some variables are metric, other are non-metric? Even then, there will not be any R. The R comes when all are metric, 2, 3, 4, 5. It means even you have not written the word combined, but there is a compulsion on you, you have to take them combined. You have to take them combined. You have to see their combined effect on sales. But when they are non-metric, there is no such compulsion, because gender background may not be related. Actually, they are not related. So here you have to write the word combined to make bivariate, multivariate. Here, even if you don't write, it has to be taken through multivariate. I hope you are clear or somewhat clear about this first point. Let me repeat it once again. See from different perspective. There is a problem. The problem is called multicollinearity. The multicollinearity is the R between the independent variables. So independent variables when all are metric. If all are non-metric or fewer metric non-metric, then there is no such R. R will be there only when there are the effect of all the independent variables are metric. Their relation is called multicollinearity, and that's a problem actually. Because of this problem, now this problem will not be here, because gender and background, how they are related? People are urban or rural, people are boys and girls. It's not like boys are in village or girls are, or vice versa. But when you look for this, we cannot say motivation and leadership are very highly correlated. A good leader, the job of the leader is to motivate the team. It okay, advertisement might and might not be related, but leader and salesperson are there. So when you look for the various concepts of HR, see, when you look for the HR, when we talk about organization culture, leader, personality, politics, don't you think all are related? Are they related or not? Think yourself. Whether organization culture and personality, let's talk about the two things, whether personality and OC, organization culture, is there any effect or not? So look for this. Organization culture always has an effect on the personality, right? Because now you are in NIT, if you go to the Harvard University, we have find it wonderful thing. Since you are not in the campus, there are few things you never observed. In our campus, we have a dress code, we have a uniform. So the 4 days out of the 5 days, 4 days students come in the uniform, and mind it, so many students, they actually resist it. They say, well, this is the age, we will wear the all colorful things, and we will bright colors, and why there is a uniform, and that too black and white, black trouser and the white shirt, and it's a common for all boys and girls, only one. Then we ask them, okay, that's a fantastic, there must be not any uniform, and we also appreciate it. But when you get into Infosys, when you get into the TCS and there is a uniform, why you don't make a noise there? Why you feel so happy to wear a shirt of this Infosys? You feel very proud. There is it's an ordinary shirt of the sky blue color, but when the logo of Infosys is there, you feel so happy. You feel so respected, belonging to a particular community or class. So it means your organization culture that has an effect on the personality. It will change your personality, right? Likewise, personality also changes the culture, maybe of organization, maybe of that of leadership. We have a tremendous example of our former president, APJ Abdul Kalam. In his autobiography, he writes that DRDO was a collection of frustrated scientists, all brilliant scientists with a common tendency, nothing can be done. So actually people were playing cards in the office, in the DRDO labs when he joined. And he said, I didn't say anything to anyone. He simply worked on the organization culture. He talked to the government, took some project, and now DRDO, we are so proud of our achievements of our DRDO. The same DRDO, only one person changed the organization culture. All the people said it could not be done, but only one person changed the culture. So here person has an effect on culture, and culture has effect on this. If you remember, Congress was established in 1885. A.O. Hume and the other people were there. But it's only after Mahatma Gandhi joined this Congress becomes something else, a reckoning force for against Britishers. So one person changed. Actually, after 1920s, you will see Congress is nothing but a reflection of Mahatma Gandhi. Whatever he was saying, the rest was doing. So one person becomes this, and this was what Subhash Chandra Bose was against. So person has an point. My point is, look from this perspective of multicollinearity. So multicollinearity means when independent variables, they will affect each other, and you are looking at their effect on the cells, but they are affecting each other. So this problem, when all are metric, then you have to, even if you have not written the word combined, but there is a compulsion on you, you have to take the combined effect. Even if you don't write the word combined, it will be combined effect. You cannot segregate. When all are non-metric, then you have to write the word combined. So let me quickly handle these two, and then we will stop. Now my objective becomes as to study the combined effect of gender and background on the marks. So how many variables are there? 3. How many you feel are dependent, independent? So I feel that here I am looking for effect of gender, and these, they seem to be independent variable, and effect on marks, it seems to be a dependent variable, right? So number one, it's a case of multivariate, because we can't apply principle of split. I have written the word combined, so it's a 3 variable and I cannot split. Yeah, number one, it's a case of multivariate objective. If you want to write the process, you may write side by side, process of selecting appropriate tool technique, and the first one is always refer to the objective, find out how many variables are there, and decide for objective. Simply you can write decide whether it's a univariate, bivariate, or multivariate objective. That's it. The first step is decide whether it's a univariate, bivariate, or multivariate objective. So you know the drill. You know how we decide for univariate, bivariate objective. We check the number of variables should be more than 2. We can't apply principle of split, and we cannot make it into the smaller part. Combined effect means both taken together, their effect on marks. It's a case of multivariate objective. Step number 1. Step number 2 and 3 talks about dependent, independent, that you know, and measurement, that also you know. So step number 2 says which one is dependent, which one is independent. So dependent variable is marks, independent is gender and background. That's again very clear, no confusion in that. So we are clear with the first 2 steps. Step number 1, whether the objective is univariate, bivariate, multivariate. We have a multivariate objective. Step number 2, tell status of each. Which one is dependent, which one is independent. We have marks as the dependent and gender background as the independent. That's also clear. Go to the third step. Step number 3 says measurement. Now you have no option for gender and background. They has to be non-metric, because boy and girl, that has to be non-metric. It's a nominal measurement. Background, urban or rural, it has to be nominal, non-metric measurement. Marks, yes, it depends on you. I decided I will take the actual marks. Actual marks is ratio measurement, that's a metric. So I got my all the 3 questions. It's a multivariate. I have the knowledge of dependent, independent, and I know about the metric or non-metric. Refer the table number 3. Table number 3 is this much. And see it one by one. How many dependent variables? 1. It means my answer is from any of the 3. Are you with me? When I say dependent variable is 1, my option is any of the 3 technique will be applicable. Now tell me how many independent variables? More than 1. Certainly it's a case of more than 1. Okay. Then what is their type? Are all non-metric or all metric or mix? So check it out once again. Gender, it's a non-metric. There are two independent and both are non-metric. So I will go to this zone that it is all non-metric. And what is written there? I can see it's written n-way ANOVA. On the footnote of this, it's given what is meant by n. N means number of non-metric independent variables. How many non-metric independent variables we have? 2. So the answer is we will apply the two-way ANOVA here. So let me write the answer. Answer comes here. We will apply here two-way ANOVA. Check it out. Is it that tough for rocket science or it's easy? Look for the three things. The first thing is the most important. Looking at the objective, can you tell whether it's a case of univariate, bivariate or multivariate? That's the most important thing. Here, 2-3 things will help. A simple count, how many variables? We can see 3 variables, no doubt about that. Gender is a variable, background is a variable, marks is a variable, 3 variables are there. Okay. Second thing, principle of split and your intention. My intention is to check the effect. My intention is to check the effect. Okay. Effect means it has to be bivariate, minimum bivariate. So can I split it? Can I split it effect of gender on marks, background on marks? No, because I have written the word combined. Because I have written the word combined, it means I cannot split it. Combined effect of gender. Okay. 3 variables are there. Tick 1, 3 variable. Number 2, I am using the word effect. Then that means yes, minimum bivariate, multivariate. And since I have written the word combined, it has to be a case of multivariate. I cannot apply principle of split. 3 conditions. Number 1, how many variables? Number 2, what is your intention? And number 3, principle of split. The 3 things will help you in determining whether it's a univariate, bivariate or multivariate objective. So it's a multivariate objective. Second and third are relatively easy. It's a dependent, independent and metric and non-metric. If we are through with that, then we'll refer to the table number 3, multivariate analysis. Dependent is 1, independent more than 1, all non-metric, n-way ANOVA, and the meaning of the n is number of non-metric independent variables, which is 2. So it's a case of two-way ANOVA. Now, I know the next question will be how will you do that, which software? We'll come to that. But first, getting in itself is a very important thing. It's something like you are standing in Delhi. I'm asking which road for Bangalore, or Agra, which road for Jammu. If you know the correct road, then obviously you can go correct. But if you are on the way to Agra and you are finding Jammu, you will be in big trouble. So first is knowing what will be applicable. Certainly we will do how part. How part is very simple. Simply write on the YouTube to ANOVA. Hundreds of videos are there how to apply that and in which software. But you will find rarely any video on the YouTube which talks about how to arrive at the decision making. Nobody tells that. Let's quickly go to the second one. To study the, and here let me remind you, I have not written the word combined. There is no such word I have used. To study the effect of motivation of the salesperson, leadership and the advertisement on the sales. Check it out. How many variables? Step number 1, how many variables? 4 variables. Okay. What I am looking for? Am I looking for their effect, etc., or simply measuring the 4? No, I am looking at the effect. Good. Then which are the independent variables? Dependent, independent. Sales is the dependent variable. Let me note it down somewhere. So dependent variable is, sorry, my pen. This is the dependent variable. So this will be my IDV1, IDV2 and IDV3. Before going ahead, simply have a look at the independent variable and ask yourself, can there be by any probability, any chance that they are related? Leadership, motivation, yes, I feel they can be related. Then I have to assume the effect as the combined effect. If the independent variables are related, then this effect has to be the combined effect. You cannot apply the principle of split. If you say these are totally different things, but that will be rarely the case, because when you are studying the effect on the sales, certainly you will write all those things which have the effect on sales. You cannot write any random things here, and certainly they will be correlated. It has to be the combined effect. So for the step number 1, I got the 4 variable. I have the intention of checking their relation, and it's a combined. I cannot use the principle of split, so it's a multivariate objective. Coming to the second question, dependent, independent. Yeah, I have written one dependent, many independent. A third thing, metric, non-metric. Here in this case, I have taken all as the metric. It is metric, it is metric, it is metric, and this one is also metric. Go to our table, check it out. One dependent variable, my answer is in any one of them. Independent, more than one, all are metric. This is a case of multiple regression. This becomes a case of multiple regression here. So let me write the second answer to this question is multiple regression. 3 steps, and fourth, refer to the table. So multiple regression is the correct answer. Now just a simple thing and see how things work. Somehow I decided I will not work on the sales as this. I will measure the sales on high and the low. Simply just one thing. I have not changed my objective. I have not changed my variable. Everything is the same. Only measurement I have changed. Instead of asking the actual sales, I asked whether your sales was high or low. I decided a figure. Above 500 it will be high, below it will be low. Now it is no longer ratio. Can you think of what sort of it's there? High and the low. It's called ordinal. The measurement is ordinal. That's non-metric. Rest of the things are the same. I have one dependent variable, but that is non-metric. Independent, they are all metric. Now the correct answer here is I can apply linear discriminant analysis or logistics regression. I can apply that. So focus on the fundamentals. I assure you, you can see any objective of anyone on the planet. If the person is working with a quantitative, certainly don't ask me how to check the effect of Tulsidas on the Indian subcontinent. Well, there is no data in that. That's a qualitative. But if there is a quantitative data, then the 3 things will work. First one is whether it's a univariate, bivariate, multivariate objective. Then itself has the 3 steps. How many variable, what is your intention, and can we use the principle of split? Second, dependent, independent, that comes from common sense, from your reasoning. And third is metric and non-metric, which is totally in your hand. Now hope in retrospectively you can focus why I was testing so much in your questionnaire design, why I was pointing again and again, this is non-metric, this is metric, because only thing in your hand is that whether you will decide. Measurement is in your hand. You decide to go for metric or non-metric, accordingly choice of statistical test or technique will come. So 3 are the steps, and then we have this table, and accordingly we can take any of the decision. So we can stop here. Hope you find it useful.